Hey, welcome back to my Hobbyist Craftsman YouTube channel. I was just trying to make a little video about what I did the other day. This is something that I just worked on. It's for one of my table saw that I bought. When I got it, I didn't realize that it didn't have a rip guide where you put the rip right here by the blade, and then you kind of push the wood through the table saw. So when I got it, I didn't realize that it didn't have that, so I had to make one for it. And this is what I made and put together. It's not really a professional make, but as long as it looks decent and looks okay, and so long as it's safe to work with and use. But anyway, I was gonna say something about talk a little more about the welder itself also, and how so far, just to give an update of how it has been helping me out in my little projects that I've been working on. So but this is the other one, the other project that I'm currently working on, and I'm still working on the K. I still have updates for it, and as soon as I get it all fixed up and ready, I will take pictures of it and show a lot more updates on that as well. But I just started on this one because I won't be able to, rip any wood or cut any wood if I didn't have a rip guide. So anyways, but going back to the welds and everything, that just to give an update of the welder itself. What I did on this one was I did a lot of spot welding. As you can see, I kind of grinded a bunch of it out just to smoothen it out. But yeah, it really looks a lot more work that needed on it. I need to do more practice to get better at my spot welding, and I did quite a bit down here. It looks like I still need more practice. It takes a lot of work though, especially when you are dealing with welding, and if you're new to it, you just can't say that you will get it right away as soon as you get the machine or get to welding. I mean, for some it's easy. Some people like myself, some things take a while for me to catch, but I'm content with the progress, and cannot complain a lot more, but keep doing what I'm doing just to get used to it, so I'll have something to do at the end of my career working currently. And when I get done at my retirement time, I'll fall back to something to do every day from time to time. So that's the whole reason why I got into this, doing little weldings, just so I have something to do when I retire. I just don't like to retire and then go and look for another job. But anyway, that's out of the topic. But going back to the welding itself, or the update on the weld, this welder, the KLUTCH welder, has helped me quite a bit with my welding. I still really need to work on those spot weldings and dragging the melt over just to cover it. But since this is a really thin metal, I try to be very cautious on it, because you can easily burn through it. As you can see on this spot right here, there's a lot of burn through right there. So and I've kind of seen that happen quite a bit when I was working on thin metal. So that's why I reduced the gauge on my wire that I'm using to weld. So it just takes practice. But anyway, that's a little update on my current project that I'm working on right now. Um, it seems like I'm getting there, but not in a very rushful way, not in a hurry, but I'm slowly getting there. I just need a lot more practice, and I'll get good at spot welding, and doing all this little welding, fabricating stuff, and all that, like this one that I'm working on, and the K that I put together. But that's this one right here, that I put together not too long ago. It seems like it's gonna work, and I just need some more other parts to put on it, and it should be complete to use. So right now, that's the look of it, and I still have more stuff to add on to it. So this is the rip guide, the homemade, I want to say the DIY rip guide, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But anyways, going back to the welder itself, there's a lot that the welder can do, and I have the book. I'd encourage, if you are new to something, like trying to get into home repairs in welding and all that, and when you buy any equipment, like bigger equipment, like KLUTCH welder itself, I'd advise to keep this manual, owner's manual, because you can always look back to it and get more reference on what you need to know about it, because usually the manufacturer will give you a lot more detail on what you need to do and all that. It will address like basic stuff, and on this one it will tell you the package that is contained, what's contained in the package in the user's manual, and then it will give you technical specifications. I mean, if you want to read a lot more about the machine itself, you can always get first-hand information from the owner's manual, and then it will tell you caution, give you some caution stuff to be aware of for the welder use and the care of the welder itself. And then it will, first of all, main thing for anything like this is about safety. So it will tell you right here, for personal safety. It talks a lot, not too in detail, but very very basic, and it tells you what you need to have in order to be safe, because welding, especially if you are doing stuff on your own, you want to be very cautious, very safety minded, knowing your surroundings. As for me, when I'm outside, I have my kids come hang out with me, and as you can see, one of them is just running around right there on your right. So therefore, when I'm doing my welding out here, I try to be very careful, making sure that they're not close to me when I'm welding or grinding, because those sparks can fly and catch somebody's eyes, because they're not wearing anything. So it talks about it here in this owner's manual on personal safety, and then it goes into detail about the electrical shock during operation, what you need to be aware of, your welder's condition, and specific things that it tells you to have before you start using the welder itself. Sorry, I'm jumping around, but that's what it is. I mean, in this manual book. So, and then it talks about the fire hazard. I know I need to have a fire extinguisher, but whenever you are doing stuff on your own, you just want to be very careful, cautious, and all that. So safety is very important in this thing, in welding. And one thing I realized about this welder itself is that, like, you can tell from the machine on it, the machine on the machine itself. Sorry about that, excuse my stuttering. But anyway, on the machine itself you will see the same logo or like a signage right beside the swapping of the wires. On the book here it tells you when you're using the gas tank, it will tell you what to do on these two cables, and then if you're not using the gas, then it will, this is the picture that will show that you can easily swap it around. But I've looked at other ones. I know in the bigger welders, I'm sure they will have this kind of sign close to it, but like if you're already seasoned welder and already know about it all, it's just a matter of knowing what to do. But higher end machines, I don't think they do have option of like swapping the cables around. I think it's pretty much you just have to do the setting, and then it will just set itself automatically, and you just have to start welding. I think I'm just assuming, I may be wrong, but if you know any information about that, you can share or make a comment about it. But anyways, yeah, that's the one thing about this machine that I liked about it, because it's easy to understand and use at the same time. So, and then it will tell you, like when you're doing the MIG welding, these are the positions that it will the book will show, and in the manual it should show you, and then basic techniques of like types of welding beads, and then moving the torch around. Either you want to push the weld puddle or pull the weld puddle. I've been trying push and pull, but I do the push quite a bit, because it's a lot easier pushing the puddle. So I've heard from YouTubers that I've looked at, like when you're welding from left to right, you want to push the puddle from your left to the right, either way. So if you are pushing from right to left, you want to push the puddle going to your left. You don't want to push against or push away from the puddle. I think I may be wrong, but I've been doing quite a bit of that. So I think if you're going with the push, you may have to push the puddle, like going right to left, push the puddle from the right to the left, and not kind of like into the puddle, I guess is what I'm trying to get to. But anyway, that's, and then it goes into the welding positions that you need to know about, and the type of joints that you're gonna make and all that. And it tells you punch and feel. A lot of, in the spot welding, there's a lot more technical wording to it. There's punch and feel, burn through, or lap spot. I've been doing a little bit of those and everything else, but this book is very handy because it gives you all the information about what you need to know about the welder itself. And I'm pretty sure when you're buying it new, you will have the manual with it. But if you're gonna get it used, I would make sure I check the gun itself and check the MIG nozzle, you know, all that. I check and make sure this coil here that holds the wire is there before you buy a used one, because sometimes it may not come with it if you're buying it used. But for like myself, if you're new and you're just trying to get to know how to do it, make sure, I encourage you to buy a new one. Sometimes it may be a little costly, but you know, it pays off if you're really gonna get into something to do at home, not for, you know, payment or anything like that. But if you're gonna do it just to teach yourself a new skill, then, you know, buy something new and use it. But if you're already seasoned welder and you're just trying to get good at it or better, then I guess if you find something used, then you can always look around and get it. You know, there are people I see who sell their welders. So, but anyway, going back to the welder itself, that's the welder right there. Sorry about that, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to show you the welder, but I'm just gonna turn it around. But that's everything right there in the cabinet itself, and I bought it at Northern Tools. I bought the stand itself by itself on its own. I didn't buy the stand at Northern Tools. I bought it online somewhere, and then later on I went and got this tank for gas welding. So you want to be very careful about all these things, because sometimes, especially wire going through the gun, you know, you just don't know how effective it's gonna be pushing through when you're, you know, welding. So you want to be sure that you it's not clogged up or anything like that, especially if you're buying it used. But if you're buying it new, it's always good to take care of equipment, because sometimes, you know, with everything that is costly right now, you want to be very economically sound. So yeah, I need to do some cleaning on this machine. But yeah, they say that when I've heard from people that when you're doing flux core, there's no need to use the nozzle. But I prefer using it. I don't know, it's just my feelings. I feel a lot more comfortable because I guess it contains the wire within the nozzle, and then I can see how far I need to be for the wire to touch the metal that I'm welding. So that's why I try to keep it on there, the nozzle itself. And then this is for all of these come like with the wire size. Sometimes if it's really small, you cannot push a smaller gauge wire through a little bit of a pinhole, a bigger gauge wire through a small pinhole. So you want to be also, you know, watching out for that. It will show you the sizes for each of these pin. I don't know, I just call it a pin because it goes over the gun for the wire, holds the wire in place. And then the nozzle. It's not a expensive equipment, but it's affordable, I want to say. You can make use of it. So that's about it. I got that I wanted to share about today, and hopefully that was a little bit more informational. I know I'm not more technical because I figure that there's a lot of guys who talk about welding a lot more in detail on YouTube, who give more information about what to expect, what to do, and how to do it, and all that. But I'm just giving information as it comes from what I'm doing and how I'm doing stuff. So everything that I'm doing is just firsthand. It's I'm getting the idea or the lessons from people that I listen to on YouTube. I know I've mentioned one of the guys. I think his name is Derek. He's a pretty good welder instructor. He gave me a lot more information on the three. I think he talked about the 3 reasons on choosing flux core, and I've made a note on there in one of my videos stating that I'm glad that I was able to listen to him, or look at his video before thinking of getting another welder. And therefore I would advise just look up people who you think will give you good first-hand information. For mine, it's pretty much down to earth, not very complex, but it's a little more detailed, but it's from details from actual hands-on experience. So that's just a little bit about what I have to share today. Anyway, just before I go, just don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on my page. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask to help my channel grow. Thank you.